An interesting phenomenon of A Course in Miracles is that at different times during Helen's scribing of the Course, it was holiday seasons, particularly at Christmas and Easter and New Year's. And so when the time came, as Helen was scribing, and these seasons approached, Jesus was integrating the major theme of whatever it was he was discussing, whether it was in the workbook or the teacher's or the text, and integrated this with symbolism of the season. So, for example, at the beginning of chapter 20, one finds references to the Easter season. In fact, the first section of chapter 20 is Holy Week. When it comes to Christmas, there are two places where this occurs. One in the workbook, lesson 303, the Holy Christ is born in me today, and near the end of chapter 15. And I thought I would read one of the particularly lovely, brief passages that relate to Christmas. It's chapter 15, section 11, paragraph 2. The sign of Christmas is a star, a light in darkness. See it not outside yourself, but shining in the heaven within, and know and accept it as the sign the time of Christ has come. This fits in very, very nicely with the theme of that section and the chapter. That the time of Christ is really the holy instant in which there is no sacrifice, in which we choose against the ego and choose Jesus as our teacher. And a particular component of that choice is recognizing that there's nothing outside of us that can affect us in any way, that the light of Christmas is not something external, that the birth of Jesus into the world should not be seen as anything that has to do with form or the birth of the body, but basically the appearance of this great symbol of heaven's love that is in our mind. It's not something that appears and disappears, it is always there. But the season of Christmas offers us the opportunity of remembering that the time of Christ is always, it is right now. A major theme of the Course is that linear time is an illusion, and there's no past and there's no future. So Christmas is not something that occurred once 2,100 years ago. It's not something that we anticipate each year in terms of the gifts we will give and the gifts we receive. Rather, it's a symbol of the fact that this light is always shining in the darkness of our ego-driven minds. And even amidst the shadows of the guilt that we have made real and that we project onto the world and all the relationships in the world, that this light still shines, that the presence of the Holy Spirit in our minds has never disappeared. And so it's this light shining in darkness that this season is the remembrance of. And so as we approach this season, and with all the hoopla of Christmas and all the commercialism that we're all so basically disgusted with, nonetheless, we can still use the Christmas symbolism as a remembrance and a reminder to ourselves that despite what goes on in our personal world or the world at large, this light is always shining. And there is nothing, and this is perhaps the most important aspect of this symbolism, and there is absolutely nothing in the world that can take this light away from us, except our own decision, our own fear, to see that there is a power greater than heaven, that there's a power greater than love, and that we are that power. That's the source of the belief in separation, that's the belief in guilt. But all that is part of the ego's trickery. But that the truth of the matter is that this light remains always and can never be extinguished by any of the faulty decisions. We're told repeatedly in the Course that our life here is a dream, and dreams are not reality. And so this light of Christmas shining in our minds is the dream, is the light beyond the dream, is the love that's beyond all the fear and all the guilt and the hate and the pain and the suffering and the death that so characterizes our world. And so this season, let us make a reminder to ourselves that no matter what goes on in our personal world, we could still find that love and that peace and that hope of Christmas. It's the hope that it really ends up being a certainty. It's the hope that tells us no matter what is going on, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always a light that shines in darkness. And it's that light that is the true meaning of Christmas.